Think positive.
Welcome back to the GHOUL-AMBROSE podcast, GA for short. I'm your host, Prince. This is a space for inner work, self-improvement, self-discovery, mindset, accountability, integrity, reflection, and personal development. This podcast is built for growth, for honesty, and for becoming a better version of yourself, one day at a time. New episodes drop every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's episode is called Hooked on Losses. I feel the losses more than the wins. My brain won't listen when I try to comprehend. I try to reason with myself, to change, to give it a chance, but to no avail. There comes a point where a difficult question has to be asked. Why do losses seem to last longer than victories? Not because life has only been losses, but because those are the moments my mind refuses to let go of. I can remember mistakes from years ago with the perfect clarity, yet I struggle to remember the victories that happened. Somewhere along the way, I stopped collecting wins and started collecting evidence against myself. Evidence that says, remember this, don't forget how that felt. You'll probably end up here again. The strange part isn't collecting the evidence. It's believing the evidence tells the whole story. Because once that happens, every new experience begins standing beside the old ones. Not to discover something new, but to confirm something old. And confirmation has a strange way of finding exactly what it's looking for, which makes me wonder, were the wins ever missing, or were they simply never put on trial? The thing about replaying something, the ending never changes, the words stay the same, the outcome stays the same, the feeling stays the same, yet somehow the mind keeps pressing play, not because it's searching for a different ending. Maybe it's searching for a different feeling. Or maybe it's just become familiar with returning again and again and again. At some point, the replay becomes more familiar than the event itself. The memory starts living longer than the moment ever did. A 5-minute mistake can become a 5-year conversation, not because time stood still, because attention did. Maybe attention is the real hook. Whatever receives it grows. Whatever gets revisited becomes familiar. Whatever becomes familiar starts feeling true, even if it isn't. Not every thought deserves agreement. Not every memory deserves another audience. Not every loss deserves another performance. Yet, somehow, the curtain keeps opening. The same scene, the same dialogue, same questions. Why did that happen? Why didn't I? What if? Questions that never seemed interested in answers. Only repetition. Repetition has a way of introducing itself as certainty. Long enough, and certainty no longer asks for proof. It simply says, see, I told you this would happen. I knew it. As if one loss suddenly speaks for every possibility that comes after it. It's strange what gets remembered. Not birthdays, not ordinary afternoons, not random Tuesday mornings, but embarrassment, regret, disappointment, Those moments seem to know exactly where they're stored, as if they left a bookmark inside the mind, ready to be opened whenever silence arrives. The most dangerous part is not the loss. It's the authority it's been given when every new experience has to answer to an old one. Nothing ever gets to introduce itself. Everything gets compared, measured, questioned, not for what it is, but for what happened before. Maybe that's why wins can feel so quiet. They don't interrupt. They don't demand attention. They simply happen, while losses ask for another hearing, another explanation, another replay, another chance to speak. So the question remains, why do losses seem to last longer than victories? Maybe they don't. Maybe they're simply visited more often. Maybe every return gives them another heartbeat, another voice, another opportunity to be remembered, until eventually it's not the loss that's speaking anymore. It's the echo. And maybe that's what we've been hooked on all along. Thank you for listening. This has been Hooked on Losses. Until next time, take care. I hope you found something worth taking with you today. Maybe a new perspective. Maybe a moment to pause and reflect. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. Your presence matters. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you care about, because growth spreads through connection. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Stay grounded. And as always, be safe.